Where I am now, better than before. Through those open doors, where I am now. Where I am now, I'm in a special place. I tell you all the grace. Where I am now. It's now time for the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. And if you like to see us live in WGPL 1350 studio, all you have to do is go to Edward Everett's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page, and guess what? You can see us live right here in the studio. And if you want to hear us all over the globe, all you have to do is go to www.christianbroadcastingcompany.com, click and listen live, or you can go to WPCE1400.com, WGPL1350.com, click and listen live. And now I want to introduce to some and present to others the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and a pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. E. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Would you, could you, will you be my neighbor?
Let's welcome our neighbors. Let's welcome WGPL 1350 AM listeners.
Peace, 95.3 FM, WPCE 1400 AM, WMBA 88.9 FM. Good morning to you.
Facebook Live is on and pop, and let's also welcome Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll shout you out later on in the show.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Like, share, comment, subscribe. Go to Cristo Records 1 on YouTube, CRISTO, and go to FYI Radio Show live. Host Yolanda Hinton.
And you shout them out?
We promise. Shout out. Let's see.
Yeah.
What day is it today?
Today. Is hump day.
That's a wake me up, pick me up, hump day. It is. Boy, you all should be up and popping. It's the middle of the week.
Up and popping and up, huh?
Are you up and popping in the middle of the week? You know, Monday is supposed to be drag day. You get up and you drag it out. Well, Wednesday, you should be ready.
Well, every day to me, I'm up and at 'em. I got to get it in because I promised to give God 8 hours of great service.
8
hours when I'm at work.
Oh, okay. I get it. I thought
But
you was just
all day long, I promised to give him his service.
All right. So look, we are so glad to be here. We just want to announce a few things. We want you to keep in mind that FYI has an FYI After Dark podcast live show Monday evenings at 6 p.m.
That's right.
In 2025, you can be a special guest sponsor intern on our new show. You can also be a special guest sponsor intern with FYI morning show, radio morning show. We have some great things going on. We want you to just tune in. We're on all social media platforms with the live podcast. We want you to participate, be in our audience, get on our panel discussions. We're going to have a great time discussing a whole bunch of stuff, Mr. E.
A whole bunch of stuff?
A whole bunch of stuff, Mr. E. From family. I mean, things, you know, we can talk about things here on our morning live show. We're kind of limited as far as time, But on the podcast in the evening, Mondays at 6, we can really go on and on for a while. Our time is not limited. We can pull in so many people. We can have great discussions, great debate. You can speak up, speak out, and really have a good time. Just kind of like looking at different perspectives. If we talk about family, some people may think that the only thing that resembles a family is a man, woman, and a child. They don't understand that some people are single parents, that's a family. Some people are interracial, that's a family. You got all kind of families now with all kind of issues, Mr. E. You got step families. And so we'll be discussing those things, and we'll be hearing different perspectives from different folks.
That's right. And that's what it's all about, hearing different perspectives from different folks, because family is more than what we call it to be.
Absolutely. So family discussions about finances and real estate, politics. We're going to go deeper and deeper. One of the things that I really want us to discuss, Ms. D, on our morning show and our podcast is immigration.
That's right.
We have to really, 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 really get it together and, do what we do.
Well, we need to bring all that information to, talk to our listening audience about immigration, because there's a lot of people may not understand what is in the air when it comes to the transformation of all immigrants, folks who are not from the United States, or are not from this country. There's a lot of things that we need to let folks know. We need to let folks know so that they too can be a part of what immigration is all about.
Well, I tell you what, Mr. E is going to give you information later on. You can inbox us or you can email us. He'll let you know how you can contact us to get involved in these discussions, be a panelist, be a special guest. You can be a sponsor. You can sponsor any of these segments, even on the morning show. You can sponsor our Black History Month. You can sponsor What's Under the Hat, Men's Issues, or Fun Friday, any given topic, or the whole show.
That's right.
You can sponsor if you have a business and you want to get your things out to the public. We are on all these platforms. We just named it. Peace 95.3. We named WGPL 1350, WPCE 1400, WMBA 88.9, Facebook Live, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. You should want to sponsor the show so you can be on all of these platforms and let people know what you do.
That's right. And that's what has to happen. If you want everybody to know what you do, you need to get on these platforms with us.
Well, I tell you what, this is FYI's Wednesday segment. What's under the hat? Issues concerning you men.
That's right. And that's what it's all about. Issues concerning men. And guess what? We men have some things going on with us.
Yes, y'all do. Miss Sheila Robbins, good morning. I know she will agree too. Y'all, we're going to talk about you all. We talked about you all in 2024. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a rewind, y'all. Some of our favorite 2024 What's Under the Hat shows. And just kind of like just put a little spin on each one of them. Kind of remind you all of some of the things, your reaction on some of the topics that we talked about. I want to start off with a nice, fun one. I thought this was a cute one that we did. Men and bonnets. Men are wearing bonnets. We did that segment and folks thought they would scream, but it's true, T. Mr. E, do you have a bonnet?
No, I don't have a bonnet. And
Why?
I think it's one of the ridiculous things in the world. To me, Miss Hinton, it seems like that every time a woman gets something going on with them, men picks it up.
What?
It seems like that to me, because now we got men wearing bonnets.
But there's a reason. I don't know if it's necessarily a fashion statement, But men really in this day and time are taking care of that hair. They got all kind of styles, dudes. You that some of them are permed out, some of them got the dreads, some of them got the curly Q, some of them got all kind of things going on, and they want to protect the hair. Now, the purpose for the bonnet, it's first of all, the bonnets are usually silk, Misty. And they say that is the best bonnet to wear. You know, women wear the silk bonnets to keep their hair from breaking, keep it from drying, protection. So maybe it's the same way for you fellas.
Well, see, the thing about it is men used to wear stocking caps.
Well, what's the difference?
The stocking caps is, to keep your hair breaking and, but here
stocking caps break the hair. I'm sure that the pull of the static and all that, but go ahead.
But here we look at this, that men is got bonnets on their head. I mean,
going out in the street
with a bonnet on their head. What in the world does a man need a bonnet? I mean, it's an everyday attire.
Why you have a problem with it? The colors, the size. Some of them so big. What's wrong?
And they wear them all day long. I mean, it's a fashion. They goes into the mall. They goes into the hospitals with a bonnet on their head. They can't lay down and go to sleep unless they have bonnet. Men are spending more time. I mean, instead of getting out there getting a job, I mean, to be real men, they got to primp and I get into my mirror and put lotion on the things that they spend more time with them bonnets on their head. And some of them don't have no hair. But listen to they wearing the bonnet. Why?
Do you have a problem with the colors? Are they clean? They look clean or they look dirty? You know, some people coming out of the house these days with the bonnets on, the fuzzy slippers, and they dirty. But that's your business if you want to come out looking like that. But I'm just saying, some people are, seeing that. People are coming out, they don't have to dress to the nine. They can come out they get right out of bed.
Is that a fad?
Grocery store.
Is that a fad, Miss Hinton?
I think people do what they want to do. They come the way they are, come as you are, like the Bible says, come on it. And people are doing just that.
You
go ahead.
Miss Hinton, another thing while we on that fashion tip, another thing that I have a problem is men wearing clogs. Them Crocs. Everywhere you turn, they wear them things, them Crocs on their feet.
What did it look? I mean, is it with
they run over? They sometimes the heels of the socks just as dirty. I mean, I have a problem with that. I think, and I think that when they go to school, this is the thing that gets me. They go to school, they have no dress code. They don't put no tennis shoes or street shoes on their feet. When they go to school, they got a pair of clogs on, and the socks just at the heels are tore up. They walk in the Walmart store, heels got more husk on it. I can't stand it. I'm sorry, y'all excuse me, because one thing I can't deal with is a man with a bonnet on his head and some cloth. My grandson has that long hair, and his mama put a bonnet on his head when he's home. But when he get to my house, I pull that thing off his head. You ain't gonna be walking around here like your sister with a bonnet on your head.
Well, listen, he has to protect his head. Mr. E's grandson got long, beautiful, wavy hair down his back. So his mom want to keep it, preserved, looking good. It kind of holds the style together if you're going to lay down, Mr. E. So that's one of the purposes. But I understand what you're saying. You're going out and it just looks different.
That's right. And then these pajama pants. Oh, God.
Men are coming out with pajama pants, cloths, and bonnets.
Bonnets, pajama pants, and cloths. Come on now. Come on, Miss.
And I tell you what, we covered that, and you all thought it was absolutely hilarious. But hey, and some folk also could relate to it. Like, hey, I need my bonnet. I need to sleep and cover my nice style. I just came from the barber shop. I want to make sure this stuff stays. Do rags, all that's the same. It's just bonnets just look funny. Just a little funnier than the other one.
The do rags, you tie them around your head, but a bonnet, you just slap it on your head, not slap it, but put all your hair underneath of it, and come on now, let's do better in 2025.
Mr. E, I want you to comment on this. We talked about it. Folk had a fit. We had more callers. Stay-at-home husbands, stay-at-home men with the youngins. What do you think about it?
I thought it was a virus.
Husband.
I thought it was a virus. I really did. That women would allow that man to play that game and stay at home and watch them children. I thought it was so ridiculous to see a full grown man allow his wife. He cannot be a man to allow his wife to go to work all day long, and he's sitting there playing with the remote on his hand, looking at football all day long, playing the video game.
He's supposed to be cleaning up.
He's supposed to be
taking care of the little babies. He's not there to just sit. He has a purpose. That's what they tell me.
And the purpose was that the purpose is she wanted to keep an eye on him. That's all that is.
Now,
she don't mind that brother staying home. At least she can say, I know where he's at.
Isn't that? I don't think so.
I think men, Miss Hinton, ought to get out there and get a job instead of sitting around. What kind of image is that you portraying when you come up? Your son said, okay, I really want to be like my dad. He don't know nothing about getting out there, getting a job, because the man at the house is sitting around, kicked back all day long, and not even busting a grape, knowing how to get out there and get to work.
Mr. E, we just talked about families being different. So now the woman is making all this bread, and she needs to actually have somebody to take care of that child.
That's what daycare and school is all about.
But listen to this. He may be working out of the home. It may be the best thing for him to be in the home, taking care of the kids since he was working at home. She goes out. And that dynamic seems like it will work for some people. Now, if you just don't want to work and you want to sit there and play with toys and stuff, that's one thing. That's one thing. But I'm saying sometimes it works out for the family.
If he's working at home, I can understand that, because some jobs allow you to work from your home. Mm-hmm. But if you're not working from your home, and you are just sitting around the house, babysitting them children and looking at Edge of Night, Search for Tomorrow, and As the World Turns, and she's getting up every day, going to work, and you just sitting around and not doing anything, and she's in agreement with you, say, at least I know where he's at. I know where my man is. Yeah, you do. He's home with the children. How long? You a woman, you women know them children don't stay up all day long. Sometimes you got to put them down to let them go to nap, and he's sitting up there playing the game. Ain't even put no clothes on, ain't even washed himself up, and sitting there with his shorts on just playing the game.
Well, our audience had a fit. We had more callers and more women saying, get to work.
That's right. Get out there and get a job.
Some of them could not see a man being in the home. Now, a man, like I said, for certain reasons, he may be there. But then there are some that refuse to go to work, that they'll sit there and say, well, you do it. You want to do it all. Go on out there and work for the family, sis. So, the audience really found it kind of like out of the norm. And so, but I'm saying we have to look at different situations where it can work, but we also have to encourage our men
to get out there.
You should be getting your own. You should be out there getting your own.
See, here's what happens. And men may not never understand this. Some men, they got a roof over their head. They say, okay, checklist. I got a roof over my head. I got meals to eat. I got food to eat. All I need to do is sit here and watch the children all day long. Now, let an argument go down. Let somebody go down, and you can look around and see how many times a woman will put that man out. You ain't got nowhere else to go. You can't go to your mom and them house, and she done put you out of her place. She done kicked you out of the crib. Now you sitting underneath the light post, cold as it is on the daylight today. You ain't got nowhere to go. You ain't got no job. All your belongings is in a suitcase, and you pulling it behind you. And you said, all I need to do is wish I could have got me a job. You should now go get a job.
All right, we have Miss Charlene 9 joined us on Instagram. We have I_Ray_Williams_Junior that's up here as well on Instagram. You all make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. We want to shout you out. Mr. E, here's another one. Oh man, Teenage Fathers. That was a show that we had as well.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. E, yesterday I listened to an interview with Richard Pryor and Barbara Walters. And he told her he was a father at 14 years old. But guess what he said along with that? He said, and it was a fun, that was just great being able to have a child
At 14
that
years
early.
old.
And we have young men that
That's right.
are fathers as teenagers. We had a special guest on
That's right.
and talked about it. It wasn't easy. It wasn't all that much fun at first. He adjusted, but it was a task as a young boy that should be in school becoming a father.
You know, Miss Hinton, when they become teenagers and they be in junior high school and high school, and they don't know exactly which direction they want to go, you let a 14-year-old child, boy, man, child, or a girl child get a child. Now, mom and them saying, "Look, I'm not gonna take care of nobody else's." Well, the boy can't get a job. He can't get a real job for one. But it's so cute. Ooh, he got a big look. We need to go back to teaching our children morals. That boy had a baby at the age of 14, and the rest of their lives, their teenage lives, are going down. He didn't finish high school. He didn't finish junior high school because he was so busy trying to find work to take care of his little baby at 14 years old.
Yes, he said it was hard. Our special guest, who was a teenage father, said it was hard, and then, trying to have a relationship with the mother. At 14, how serious are you? You may be serious about having that physical relationship, but now you've got to have an emotional relationship with a woman, a young girl, and also a child. It's just kind of like culture shock. And so, that was a good segment we had. I wasn't surprised, but sometimes I am surprised when boys, we know girls will have babies young, but sometimes it is a shock to me to know that there are boys out here at 12, 13, 14, 15 getting babies.
And it breaks up the family. If mom and daddy and children has a great relationship, now daddy become the bulldog because he can't go out and go to work because he got other children and afraid that they will follow behind that pattern. But they're going to say that daddy is the mean one. He's a Grinch. But daddy is only trying, ladies, daddy is only trying to be the protector, because he's trying to make sure that the children grow up in a right atmosphere and the right way.
Well, Mr. E, that was a great show, but we had one that was a very, very serious show.
And I'm waiting for that one.
Fathers of children with autism. We had a young man who was our special guest.
That's right.
And he was actually, I think, was he the only caregiver?
Caretaker for that baby.
child.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about fathers of children with autism.
When you got a father and he's trying to raise a child with autism with no help, that's one of the hardest jobs in the world for him to do. He can't get out there and get a job because he's got to spend time with his child. Mm-hmm. These are some of the highlights that I've learned. They said that fathers of children with ASD satisfied with caregivers is linked to perception of parenting role. When a father has a child and the child has autism, he's really got to pay close attention to that child. He cannot go out and work and find somebody that's going to take care of his child.
Yes.
The mama done abandoned him because, done left him with the child, and just him and the child. And something ain't right with that picture.
It says many fathers of children with ASD feel a lack of social support.
That's right.
And feelings of a lack of support are linked to caregiving burden. They're burdened down. It's a task, and so it's a challenge, and it affects sometimes men in a negative way sometimes.
That's right. And because they trying to figure out what's going on here. How in the world can I be a father and support my child, and now I don't have anybody to work with him, and then if I move on, I know a case, Miss Hinton, that that the mother got jealous of the daddy. They no longer have a relationship. Wow. And the mama done got upset with the daddy because the daddy done moved on with his life, and she create ruckus for that daddy.
Yes.
Now the daddy is locked up, and social services them had to come in and assign the baby over to somebody else to be a caretaker for that child.
Yes.
Can you imagine daddy doing all that he could possibly do to help raise a child that has autism?
Yes. This young man that was on, he really had a very good and positive outlook. He really cared and loved for his child, and he gave us some of the things that the child, specialized in, or had skills in, and he just made it look a little bit easier than we think it is.
Right.
Now, some people have such a lot of struggle. Some men are struggling because, first of all, you got to get educated to what autism is and how to deal with an autistic child. But he definitely was mastering it with some challenges, but he had a very positive outlook.
And some fathers get to the point where that ain't my child.
I know
and create a problem
like that.
Yes. It's a problem when they have autism children. I have a nephew who has an autism child, and he gives that baby 999% of his time. She don't have to want for nothing. Yes. And sometimes the mama feels that she's playing him too, because she said, I got this brother wrapped around my finger. Only thing I got to do is he'll speak for me, act for me, because that's his child. He's protecting his child. He's looking after his child. And that's what good fathers would do. It won't be no beef in the air. Won't be no problem in the air. This ain't my child. Ain't nobody in my family looking like that.
Absolutely. He recommended a support system, making sure you have that support system, making sure, because I believe he was an educator. I think he was in the school system.
Right.
And making sure that the schools understand of the challenges of an autistic child, that they have specialists or someone counseling or a counselor that understands what it's like to have to deal with autistic kids and be that support system. We got neighbors that can support single fathers that are raising children. We need relatives support them, lift them up, because being a caregiver as a whole is challenging. Can you imagine you being a single father and have to deal with it? And sometimes autism is extreme. Sometimes you can get autistic children that can kind of fit in and things like that, but then you may have the end of the spectrum, on the other side of the spectrum, where it is definitely a challenge and it's really a task that you need help with.
Miss Hinton, one other show that I like so much is that when we found out that you are not the father.
Woo! That was a good one.
When you found out that that's not your baby, and you've been taking care of that child for many years, and now you found out through your blood testing and things of that nature that you are not the father, and all the finances that you have invested in it, paying child support for many years, and she it becomes a problem, and she know that you're not the father, but
she's not gonna tell you until you find out.
That's
you go to get a blood test and find out you are not the father. We had a series actually on You Are Not the Father. And it was really, really good how they found out,
Especially
what
when it
they
was
did when they found out. We had one that found out and he decided to forgive his wife and
That's
stay
right.
and
That's
raise
right.
that child.
And stay and raise that child because the only daddy that that child knew was him. We had one that was in the military for
Mhm.
18 years.
Yes.
He couldn't stop paying child support payments for that child, especially when he found out that's not his child.
Ooh, that was hard. But I tell
They
you what,
made him pay.
it was hard, but it happens. We just wanted to do a rewind on what's under the hat, issues concerning men. We're going to have some great shows coming up with that same topic and segment. But we had a good time, and you all really enjoyed those segments. You participated, you called in, you got mad, you
Yeah.
debated. But I tell you what, we've got to realize that this is what we have in our society. Things are what it is, and we have to learn how to live with certain things.
And it's real.
It's real.
It's real. It's real as the real McCoy.
Absolutely. So, look, you all have a blessed day. We want you to join us back here on Friday, Fun Friday. We're going to have a great time and a great topic as well. Be blessed. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. If you'd like to be a special guest, a sponsor, or intern of the most talked about, or sit into our audience, all you have to do is give us a call at 757-714-7861, or you can email us at FYIRadioShowLive@gmail.com. Don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for more of FYI Radio Show at 6 o'clock on Monday. You don't want to miss FYI After Dark. Until Friday, have a wonderful hump day. Bye now.
Oh, Mr. E. Mr. E, you just mentioned something that you mentioned 6 p.m. for our After Dark podcast. But don't you know on Monday what's going to happen, Raw?
That's right. Don't forget Monday. That's going to be the presidential inauguration.
Ooh, y'all gonna look at it. I got some people protesting saying, I wish I was.
You know, the thing about it is I'm not going to pay close attention. I'm not even
Why
going to
not?
because I think it's a rotten thing in the world because Monday they're celebrating
Martin Luther King.
Day.
And we will celebrate.
Now, why would you do the inauguration on King's Day?
Well, they do it on the 20th of January, Raw. And so, hey, it is what it is. But yeah, some people are going to look, some people are going to protest, some people are going to do some things, marches for Martin Luther King's Day. Let's see how things turn out because I'm hearing a whole lot of stuff. But hey, we got to wait to see what it is. In the meantime, don't forget our Mondays at 6 p.m. We're going to be on our podcast live, FYI podcast live. And we want you to join us. We want to say good morning to Gary Talley. Thank you so much for joining us. All you all that are on with us, you all are a blessing. Thank you so much for your support. So we have some great upcoming shows. We have Cynthia Tyler. She's going to be on with her book and some of the things that she's doing in our community. Also about insurance.
That's
Mr.
right.
E, who is our special
Mr.
guest?
Rodney Waite from State Farm for Farmers Insurance Company will be our special guest, and also from Wade Insurance Company. He will be with us, because there's something that we need to know, especially when there's a bonfire going on in Florida.
Absolutely. Ask the Lady and Mr. E, a new segment on Fun Friday.
That's right.
We're going to be doing that as well. We also want you to follow us on social media. Subscribe to our channels. We're everywhere on all social media platforms. You can be a special guest, intern, or sponsor. Speaking of sponsors, make sure you go to bulvicacademy.com, BULVIC academy.com, and BeardGods, BeardGodz.com. Listen, you're going to hear a whole lot more about our Bulvic Academy. There's some things in the working of letting you all know about information that we have on the website and some of the things that you can get on the website that's going to help children, schools, teachers, and so forth and so on. So don't forget, go to our sponsors pages. Don't forget to subscribe, follow us on social media, and don't forget to be back here on Fun Friday.
That's right.
Mr.
That's
E's
right.
gonna give you the tea information on how you can contact us, be a special guest sponsor, intern with FYI.
If you'd like to be a special guest or sponsor or intern of the most talked about radio show or in our audience, all you have to do is give us a call at 757-714-7861, or you can email us at FYIRadiosHowLive@gmail.com. All you have to do is give us your email, and we email you back and let you know when you can come and be in our audience of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. And if you want to be a special guest, all you got to do is send us your information and let us know what are you bringing to the table and see if it's a perfect fit for the FYI radio show. And we'll get back with you. You can inbox us at FYI radio, FYI on Facebook, or at whatever's Facebook page, or Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page. And we'll respond to you.
I want to say good morning to my cousin Daryl Neely. Listen, I would love for Daryl to join us sometimes on our podcast as someone that can give perspective on family and different things like that from time to time. Let's see what we can do and see who is willing to, share with us some of the things that they have learned throughout the years about family and other things as well. So listen, we're going to see you all on Fun Friday. Make sure you stay warm, especially if you're in this community, and make sure you pray for those that are in California that's really struggling with this, the fires and the things that are going on there. Pray for everyone, and make sure you join us back here for a wonderful, wonderful Fun Friday show. Be blessed.
And if you got some extra blankets, there's a lot of people sleeping in the bus stop booths. If you got some extra blankets or some warm coffee or some warm soup, make it your business to drop by there and give them an extra blanket, give them a cup of coffee, give them something good to eat, because it's cold out there. It's 30 degrees out there now. The temperature on the outside right now is 29 degrees outside.
Wow.
So it's really cold.
Absolutely.
And it's not going to be no warmer today than 30 degrees. So if you see someone that's gone astray and they're in these booths, make sure you give them something to eat. Make sure you help keep them warm and put a blanket around them and say, hey, look, even if you got to take the blanket to albino cleaners and say, look, I got some blankets that I need to clean, and take them and distribute them out. You do somebody's son or daughter a great job, a great thing, and help them keep them warm.
Absolutely. We'll see you soon. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
2 up, 2 down, VA.